Liverpool exit the FA Cup early in the fourth round away to Plymouth, who are 20th, bottom of the Championship, having scored the least goals in their league and conceded the most. Yeah, that was not pretty. A very, very lacklustre performance indeed, but there's no excuses really. Liverpool, yes, we made a lot of changes, but Jota still started. Chiesa, Luis Diaz, Harvey Elliott, Wataru Endo, Costa Shimikas, Kelleher. Players with plenty of experience and should be capable of beating a championship side. I think the biggest surprise was probably the lack of strength available on the bench just as a backup, because cup upsets like this can happen and shouldn't be taken too lightly. But Arne Slot perhaps made a mistake on that end today to not give that extra backup, and we were punished for it because we find ourselves 1-0 down later on, really struggling. A lot of these senior players I've just mentioned just not showing up, and okay, maybe one or two doesn't show up, but when all of them have an off game together, it's going to be a very nervy one like this, and it's going to give a lot of confidence to a side who are going to be right up for it. You know, you've got to give credit to Plymouth, who were excellent. They were so resolute defensively, had a real go at it, and had the better chances all the way till stoppage time, where that was probably where we had our only real chances of the game. Jota has a snapshot well saved. There's the Kwanzaa header. I think there was another one, probably the first of our good chances, where it drops to McConnell and he has a clear strike at a pretty much empty net and skews it wide. That was probably the biggest one for me, but it was too little too late, and we deserved to exit the FA Cup. Fair play to Plymouth. They deserve it. They'll hopefully, get another opportunity to get a decent cup run. Good for them, obviously, and their fans, considering the poor league form. But for Liverpool, it's not the end of the world. It is disappointing in any trophy. You want to look at it individually and you want to go as far as possible. But in the grand scheme of things, we have a Premier League title race to go on. We have a Champions League campaign to try and push with. We've just booked our place in the Carabao League Cup final. So we can't be too greedy with it. It's a really, really poor performance, but there's not really much else to say on it other than that. And of course, in terms of the only goal of the game, Plymouth do score from the penalty spot, so they obviously get that stroke of luck to score. As for the penalty itself, absolutely stonewall penalty, no disagreement there. Elliott's hands well above his head. Unfortunate, but it happens. And yeah, this is the magic of the FA Cup. A really cool win for Plymouth to take. For us, we've just got to move on. We have Everton now on Wednesday, our game in hand in the Premier League, and that is massive. If we win that, we go 9 points clear and we're in a very, very strong position. So it is just the cliche, but look to the next game and move on.